Hello, everybody. Today I want to talk about average and normal as kind of concepts and understanding. So, generally, when we use the word normal, I think we really are thinking of average, average being more of a scientific terminology to describe something that's usual. Normal, I feel, is a little bit more to do with common, is another way that we look at it, but I see that there's a very big difference. So, we would often say that there's no common human experience or what's the common human in the first place. Like, there's no standard of that. But if we look um, to the animal kingdom, for an example, there is a standard or common habitat for any animal, common style of food, common things they enjoy doing, common things that they are afraid of. And you can see that in the plant kingdom as well. There's certain things that are growth oriented for them, lack of growth oriented, dangerous, um, common as in a growth element. Uh, and if we are animals by nature, then why don't we have the exact same thing? I think we do have the exact same thing. The big difference is that we have a whole bunch of other things to lose ourselves in and therefore not know what normal is. And in that way, we always seek an external version of normal. So you can say that somebody had an average childhood or a normal childhood. What does that really mean? That means externally, they went through the things that seem visually the same as other children, went to school, played a sport, or did art, or enjoyed an activity, had the standard two parents, um, went on to work a job, started to go to a higher paying job, you know, had family, kids, house, all these kind of things. We consider that normal, which is quite interesting because all those things are external to us. In fact, are things that we created. So if we existed before these creations, then there must have been a normal before that, essentially becomes the argument. And in that way, if you're thinking more of a natural normal, then we'd say that it is normal for a human being to have a variety of emotions, be able to um, deal with these emotions appropriately, be able to solve a variety of problems, and do to this appropriately where there's not a huge cost on health. Uh, like there shouldn't be something go against the longevity of the human per se. Um, as animals don't do things that generally go against their survival, we shouldn't be doing that, but we have the ability to do it, and that's where the normalcy seems to shift in things. But ideally, we should also be able to have the ability to not be limited by ourselves and enjoy rather physical life to the degree that we want to. And most things should be choice related. We should be able to make choice. In this way, having this normalcy of what the standard human experience should be like, in being able to have the emotions appropriately, to be able to solve problems, to be able to be as physical as we like. Then we bring about the potentials of human potentials. This is generally creativity. Creativity in the way of solving for balance, not in a way of solving for comfort. That also is a very human thing. Um, Generally, it's kind of like the more you have free thinking, the more there has to be negative things to balance out what the positive version of that is, essentially. Meaning that if you don't make the kind of choice that is in line more with nature, then there has to be a repercussion to push you towards making the decision that's more in line with nature or reality. Um, and in this way, we have more of a appropriate human environment. We generally just purpose things based on what they can do for us and not what it is doing to us and doing to other things. We generally just purpose things and how it works out in our benefit, essentially. This is not the higher trait of humanity. This is more of a selfish thing where we want to be more selfless, giving to others so then others give to others. Therefore, we fill each other's cups, that kind of human unity style way of thinking of things. Um, and in this way, we bring about a balance of things. So, when we say that there is no normal, I think that is highly false. I think we haven't cultivated or put kind of emphasis towards the normal. Therefore, we lack the potential of what we can do. And we can easily say that there's a majority of people not living up to their potential, but are still being average and normal and standard, let's say. But when it comes to an actual human experience, I don't think we've cultivated a normal expression of that. Self-care, again, is a way of trying to bring about that style of normalcy that's the natural normal, or a better way to say it. So this natural normal. And in that way, we can serve the higher functions of what humanity is capable of. Generally, a style of creativity, a style of beauty, devotion to passion, the embetterment of others, all the things that a few of us, a few great few of us, have been able to establish high standards of this kind of potential. We can say that the human is capable of doing all things that any human has ever done in history, great versions and small versions of it all. And if that is the potential locked in the body, then why can we not highlight the positive versions of those things and live more of a standard like that? We could. Do we need to have some work to do on that front? I think so. But hopefully, self-care will be at the forefront of that kind of movement, and to show people that there is a human experience that is quite naturally normal. And the more that we stick close to this thing, is the less harm we do to nature and to ourselves and to others. And therefore, we create a standard that promotes the higher qualities of humanity. Now, I really wanted to make that very clear that as looking at things from a self-care perspective, there is very much a normal. This normal is more a basic, natural interaction between human and environment, and therefore cultivating a environment of health around an individual, and therefore around the people that that person surrounds himself with. So hopefully that makes a little sense to you, and you can start to see how self-care is definitely a part of this transitioning of things. All right, thank you very much.